Over the years, we've gained a lot of knowledge through our diverse backgrounds, which have exposed us to various valuable lessons. Interestingly, whenever we learn something new, we often wonder why more people aren't talking about it. So, in this video, we've put together the top 12 life lessons that hardly anyone shares. Let's get started. Welcome to Top Tier Success, your ultimate destination for business, investing, and self-development. Our mission is to guide you towards financial freedom and living life on your own terms. If you haven't subscribed yet, you're missing out on valuable insights that could truly transform your life. Lesson number 1. If you find yourself on a bad path, don't rush headlong into it. At some point, you may make poor choices, and it happens to everyone. Perhaps you're already too deeply involved to turn back. In such cases, the smartest thing to do is to avoid going full speed ahead. This lesson is often learned the hard way by those who invested everything they had in risky ventures after selling their homes. Going full speed ahead on a bad path rarely leads to positive outcomes. Lesson number 2. You are on your own. There's a saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. While it's true that collaboration can be beneficial, the reality is that you're ultimately responsible for yourself. No one cares about your well-being as much as you should. Taking care of yourself is your own responsibility. Others may have their own motives and goals, which may align with yours temporarily. But in the end, you are solely accountable for yourself. Lesson number 3. Most people are dumb, and probably you are too. It may sound harsh, but it's essential to recognize that most individuals are not as knowledgeable as they appear, including yourself. There are countless things you don't know that you don't even realize. Embracing a learner's mentality is crucial. You're on a lifelong quest for knowledge, so be self-aware of your limitations. And always seize opportunities to expand your horizons. Lesson number 4. When one door closes, another doesn't magically open. Things don't happen to you, they just happen. You may be present when certain opportunities arise, but it's not a guarantee. The metaphor of a door closing and another opening is often used for comfort. But it shouldn't be taken as a universal pattern or advice. Life doesn't work that way. Lesson number 5. Most advice is useless. Yes, it may sound ironic for a video about lessons and advice, but the truth is, most advice isn't really helpful. Why is that? Well, first, for advice to be effective, someone would need to have been in the exact same situation as you and come out successful. However, no one will ever be in your exact circumstances. Second, there are multiple ways to achieve the same outcome, even for simple things like making eggs. Just search for egg recipes, and you'll find a bunch of different methods. So, the only way to turn useless advice into valuable advice is to try it out and see if it works for your specific case. When someone gives you advice, they're not responsible for the outcome. It's up to you to pick and choose the bits that could be useful for your situation and give them a try. Lesson number 6. You're not entitled to anything. So, you went to college, got an education, but now you struggle to find a job. Because employers want years of experience for even an internship. It's understandable to feel upset and think it's unfair. However, the reality is that just because you believe you deserve something doesn't mean others are obliged to give it to you. Life is filled with unfairness, and it's important to learn how to navigate such situations. Lesson number 7. If you're not creating, you are consuming. The world can be divided into two types of people: creators and consumers. This lesson holds true in various situations. For instance, if you don't take charge of designing your own environment and forging your own path, someone else will do it for you. If you don't cook your own meals, you'll end up buying pre-made food from others who may compromise on quality. In general, a small percentage of people are creators, while the majority are consumers. But it's the creators who often achieve wealth and success. Lesson number 8. The market decides, not you, unless you are the market. Even if you believe passionately in what you're doing and think it's the best thing ever, it doesn't guarantee success. It's like your mom telling you that you're the cutest kid in the world. It doesn't hold much weight. If nobody wants what you're offering, it becomes futile. It's essential to set aside your ego, make informed choices, and adapt to the demands and preferences of the market. Lesson number 9. Most things are easier than you think. We tend to complicate tasks in our minds, making them seem more difficult than they are. But once we start taking action, we realize they're simpler than we believed. So, don't be afraid to try. You might surprise yourself with how easily you can accomplish things. These valuable life lessons are often overlooked or not widely discussed. By understanding and applying them, you can navigate challenges, make better choices, and have a more fulfilling journey. From our experiences in positions of power, we've learned that many people don't know what they're doing. And tasks aren't as difficult as they seem. It's a process of trial and error, with a lot of improvisation. Eventually, we find what works and focus on that. Lesson number 10. You tell a story every day, whether you like it or not. We often hear the saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover." But companies like Netflix invest millions in optimizing their movie posters. And content creators focus on eye-catching thumbnails. The way you present yourself to the world tells a story, whether intentional or not. Even seemingly small choices, like spending all day in bed watching Netflix, or attending a formal event in flip-flops, convey a narrative. So, be mindful of the story you're telling. Lesson number 11. If you're going through a tough time, keep going. Picture this, you're walking back home, and it starts pouring rain. You're already drenched, and there's nothing you can do about it. In such situations, all you can do is keep moving forward. If you find yourself in a really difficult phase of life, it may feel terrible. However, remember that things will eventually turn around, and the skies will clear. The key is to keep going, even if you can't do much about it right now. Everything in life is temporary, and improvements will come. Lesson number 12. Give first, take later. Many people struggle with this because the default mentality is often, "What's in it for me?" People fear being taken advantage of or exploited, so they tend to lead with their own interests. While this reasoning may be valid, even if you get taken advantage of a little, the loss isn't usually significant. For example, if you lend $100 to a friend who never pays it back despite reminders, you've learned that your friend is unreliable with money. In the grand scheme of things, giving first actually opens more doors than it closes. And as a bonus for still sticking around. The final lesson, nothing matters, and nobody cares. This may sound grim, but it's actually liberating. Even if you were to accomplish something extraordinary, such as saving the world from aliens, people's interest and recognition would eventually fade away. Recognizing your insignificance in the grand scheme of the universe can lead to a more humbling and compassionate perspective. When you stop taking everything so seriously, you often become a better person. That wraps up our list for today. We'd love to hear about the valuable life lessons you've learned on your own. Please share your insights in the comments section below. Let's start a conversation and learn from each other's experiences. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss our insightful videos like this. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.